What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fann of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And today I am joined by my good friend Michael D'Arcy of KC Sports Report. And today we are going to break down an injury update from Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. So this is going to be from Chiefs Blitz, good friend of the show on Twitter. He reposted Andy Reid's quote on DJ Humphries, the left tackle, saying there's a chance as far as him playing this week. He's feeling better. I just want to see how he does in practice, how he's holding up. Now, Michael, we're going to take this a couple different directions in this video. So first of all, just the injury update itself. It sounds like Andy Reid still isn't 100% that DJ Humphries is actually going to play in this game. I have a few thoughts on that if that's the case, but I'll ask you first. Do you think we see DJ Humphries against the Denver Broncos this weekend?
He's on track. Andy Reid has always been among the mindset of if you practice, you can play. And he's practicing, for the first time in like 3 weeks, so that's a good sign. The Chiefs are in a position where if DJ Humphries does not get any snaps against the Broncos, you cannot play him in the playoffs. There is no reason that after someone who got hurt like weeks ago and hasn't even practiced until today, there's no reason that guy should start at left tackle in the playoffs with no game reps over Joe Thuney, who's looked pretty good at that position, filling in for the injured Humphries. And so, Josh, I don't think that it would be wise for the Chiefs to start Humphries if he doesn't play this week.
Yeah, well, that's kind of where I wanted to take this, because at that point, DJ Humphries will only have had like 40-something snaps, I believe, since in the last year. I mean, just football in general, because when he came back in that Chargers game, that was his first action in, I think, over a year. I mean, he tore his ACL in 2023. Came back as soon as he was healthy in 2024 to sign with the Kansas City Chiefs, goes out there for one game, can't even make it through the entire game. And now all of a sudden, this is a guy that we're expecting to start at left tackle. I'm just not sure that's the move. I think you either have to roll with Wanya Morris or, I talked about it a few videos ago, Michael, you might just have to roll with Joe Thuney as the full-time left tackle for the rest of the year. And that's not something I would have found myself saying earlier on, because I always said, he's good filling in a pinch from time to time, but I don't think that's a long-term answer there. But it might just have to be for this year.
Yeah, and listen, Joe Thuney in a pinch can do it. I think that you could go on and win a Super Bowl with Joe Thuney as the starting left tackle. Now, it does make your interior guard play worse. Mike Caliendo kind of has struggled, in the past couple of weeks. The Chiefs haven't been able to run the ball to the left side because, Mike Caliendo has been struggling. But I think that out of the options of, trotting out DJ Humphries, who hasn't played all season and really hasn't played in the last year and a half, if he does not get reps this weekend, he shouldn't get reps when they truly matter in the playoffs, because he's just going to hurt this team. And we have no, indication to say that he can stay healthy for an entire game or a two-game stretch, because he hasn't done it.
Well, my other concern, too, is that even if he does play this weekend against the Broncos, even if he looks good, I'm not sure how much you can take from it, because it's not like he has Patrick Mahomes back there. And the whole point of him playing at some point this regular season was to build a rapport with Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't have the opportunity to do that, because it's going to be Carson Wentz this weekend starting.
Yeah. And so it's just, again, putting his back up against the wall. And I feel like he should get these reps in the final week of the season, because God forbid Joe Thuney does get hurt and they need to put him in. Listen, having at least 1 week where he gets some snaps to kind of get, his feet underneath him and just, practice that drop back, practice, blocking for a quarterback in live NFL action. That's valuable. But if he doesn't get that, listen, I don't really see a world where he is going to be the favorite over Joe Thuney. And I think you've seen the Chiefs completely, build this offensive protection around Joe Thuney playing left tackle.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he has to be the guy that you look to at left tackle now at this point in the season. I just don't think there's enough body of work there with DJ Humphries. And it's not even like, here's the other thing, Michael. It's not like he was so good in that Chargers game, even when he did play, that you're like, oh, he's the left tackle, no questions asked, even if he's healthy. Like, I don't think he was that good. Do you?
No, he wasn't. And to be fair to him, he got hurt. I think it was like midway through the third quarter, maybe the fourth quarter. But listen, first game coming off of an ACL injury, minimal practice. He practiced for like a week and a half beforehand. You could argue that injury that he suffered to his hamstring is because the Chiefs rushed him back from that ACL injury so quickly. But I feel like he didn't look good in that Chargers game. And so I'm perfectly okay with cutting that loss and just saying, you know what? Joe Thuney gives us the best chance to win, so we're going to go with him. If it was DJ Humphries who gave us the best chance to win, put him out there. But a aging veteran like Humphries, who has not played meaningful football in over a year and a half, 2 years, I don't think that he is just going to snap back and his body's not going to be right or ready, to face some of these edge rushers in the playoffs. I mean, these are some of the best teams in football in the AFC, and you're going to throw him out there with no other game reps. I don't think that's going to go well.
Yeah, and like I said, the body of work just isn't there to say, he's the guy if he's healthy. Joe Thuney has gone up against some of the better edge rushers in this league over the last several weeks, including TJ Watt and Myles Garrett, and he's held his own. He's only allowed 1 sack, which is a lot better than I expected from him. Now, I'm still curious to see how he'll handle a true speed rusher, because I think that's where Thuney could potentially struggle. But I think he is still a better option than a DJ Humphries or even Wanya Morris. But I think at this point, it's still good to have DJ Humphries as serviceable depth, which, when we were talking about maybe this team signing Donovan Smith several weeks ago, that was kind of the idea. Like, hey, he may not even start, or he may not even look good, but at least he's an option that you have in case Wanya Morris just craps the bed or his knee gives out on him. Now you don't necessarily have that concern, because at least DJ Humphries is there as an option, worst case scenario, right?
Yeah. And listen, I think that's probably realistically what we should have thought DJ Humphries' role was going to be all along.
Yes.
Josh, I kind of want to take you back to a couple of years ago when Orlando Brown Jr. got hurt against the Bengals and they had to put Joe Thuney at left tackle. Did you ever think that after we watched that game, and he looked pretty good against Trey Hendrickson, did you ever think that after that game that there would be a point in the future where you could just move Joe Thuney over to left tackle and he would fill in as nicely as he has?
I mean, like I said, I think he's good in a pinch, and I know he played a little bit of left tackle back in college, I believe it was. And that was one of the perks that came with signing him, is his versatility along the offensive line. But I never saw him being able to hold up there, for 4, 5, 6 weeks at a time. But he's on track to do just that. Now, I shall remind you, Michael, in that Bengals game, because I do remember the one that you're talking about where Orlando Brown got hurt, it was Lucas Niang that they had at left tackle, and then he immediately tore his patellar tendon. And that is the reason they moved Joe Thuney over to left tackle, because it was Lucas Niang for about 4 or 5 snaps, and then he got hurt too. So it just, a lot of the Chiefs' problems at left tackle have been injury related.
Yeah. And honestly, that's just another reason why Joe Thuney's durability is so impressive. Like, he doesn't miss games. I guess he tore his pec last year, but
yeah,
what are you going to do about that? But like, for the most part, Joe Thuney's playing.
Yeah, he's playing, and he's playing well, and that's the important thing. And Wanya Morris is still there as a swing tackle. I thought he filled in fine the last couple times he had to come in. He also filled in at right tackle for Jawan Taylor after he injured his knee, and I thought he looked good on the right side. So the Chiefs still have options there. I think it's clear at this point that we agree that DJ Humphries should not be the starting left tackle come playoff time, but hopefully he's at least able to get some reps in this game against the Denver Broncos. I'm just not sure how much you can actually take from his performance because it's not him blocking for Patrick Mahomes. It's him blocking for Carson Wentz, and that's a totally different player.
And who knows? I mean, Josh, it's a different position, but maybe if he balls out in that Broncos game, let's say he doesn't allow a sack, move him at guard. Let him be the left guard to Mike Caliendo so you can kind of, run the football more. But, I think it is funny to mention, we've talked about this before, but it's like DJ Humphries' best moment in Kansas City was the press conference, and everything after that has just been a train wreck.
Yeah, and it sucks because it's not really his fault. It's just, man, they made that signing so late in the season. I mean, they had to because he wasn't cleared to play yet, but they made that signing so late in the season. They tried rushing him back, and it just unfortunately doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I mean, it shows that you have to be careful with injury. That's why I was so surprised that they threw Patrick Mahomes out there 6 days after a high ankle sprain, but crazy stuff happens.
Yeah. I mean, he seemed all right, but I think that's a good place to stop it. Michael, that is the latest on the Chiefs left tackle situation and more specifically DJ Humphries. But we want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. Do you think DJ Humphries should be this team's starting left tackle in the postseason if healthy? Curious to hear from you all. But with all that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. And then, Michael, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me on YouTube at KC Sports Report. That's kind of the one-stop shop for everything that I do. And if you haven't already, guys, hit the subscribe button on Josh's channel and hit that like button on this video. It helps both of us out.
There you guys have it. And Michael's stuff will be in the description as always. That's all I got. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com, arrowheadaddict.com for more. We are signing off. And as always, go Chiefs.